Hey, what's up guys? Thermo11 here with my review of Hunter x Hunter episode 126 Zero in Rows. I would definitely say watch this episode before watching a review, because some people watch reviews before they watch episodes. I don't know why, but yeah, it's kind of spoilerish, and thumbnail and title might be spoilerish too, so I don't know why you're even looking at this. But anyways, this episode was pretty good and interesting. I also wanted to review this yesterday, but had some issues with that. And this episode solely focused on Netero and the King, and this is what I wanted, and I got it. I do have a complaint though, and I'll probably get tons of dislikes for this because people love to dislike my Hunter reviews, but the fights in this series don't feel like fights. You know, they're really intelligent, or they're just not very action heavy. And a seemingly one-sided fight is cool, but there's no direct conflict, if you understand what I mean. You know, it's just Netero using his Wan Yin, and this changes later in the episode, but I mean, really, who thinks in a fight? I'm pretty sure most people just act in a fight instead of thinking. But anyways, on to the episode. It's pretty simple. Netero is using the King like a ping pong ball. He's knocking him all over the place. But what I liked about this is that Mererum is learning from his mistakes, from his past experiences, and his games with Komugi. You know, she has really shaped his character and everything. And the thing is that Mererum is fast, but he's not faster than Netero's hands. He's faster than Netero's body, but not his hands. And his hand movements were stated to be shorter than a second, I believe, or even shorter than that. And I guess what I didn't really like about this fight was that the damage wasn't shown until later in the fight. And if there's no damage or energy blast all over the place, I don't really get excited for the fight. Just my opinion. And there was this pretty cool artwork with Netero and his Wan Yin, Zeno, and Mererum, and there was a dragon in there too. And it kind of reminded me of traditional Asian artwork. And I'm guessing that was what Togashi was going for, but who knows what it looked like in the manga, because the Hunter X manga, whew, does not look that good. And the manga's coming back. I don't know, I might do a separate video on that. And the King, he basically admires Netero's talents. And as I said before, Mererum is learning while he's fighting Netero. He figures out that Netero uses his hands every time he summons the Wan Yin. And that seems like something that would be kind of obvious, but I don't know. And that moment is the only thing that's faster than Mererum. And the King is so freaking smart. Like, I like how the Chimera ants are written. You know how I was talking about how he goes into way too much detail with this arc, and he really does, but I like how the Chimera ants are written. Like, I like the King, I like Neferpitu, I like, what's his name, Montayupi. Shalapu's okay, he's not really in there with, like, one of my favorites. Yeah, you know, the characters are just very awesome. So the King's still wondering why Netero is doing this, you know, why he's fighting him, and I'm guessing that the King still wants to talk it out, and I like that, because, you know, talking it out is easy enough, so whatever reason Netero has for fighting the King must defy logic, and his opinion will become swayed by the King if he talks to them, so that's why he's not talking to him. And the King is a threat that must be taken care of. If you get swayed by him, you'll, you know, fall into his ideas and everything. You know, he's a very intelligent being, but he has to die. At some point in this, you know, he has to die. What was he planning on doing? He was like, enslave the human race or something? Like, take control of their mind? Or, like, transform them into Chimera ant soldiers, something like that. But at some point in Netero's life, he must have gone mad. And a lot of these things I'm saying are just like the King's inner thoughts. You know, that was when he was punching and praying every day. I mean, who wouldn't go crazy from that? You're just punching and praying consistently. I don't even know how many times he did it in a day. And the King, he just keeps saying interesting things throughout the episode. And, you know, Netero must have trained to get this powerful. But when you train, you'll hit a limit eventually. And Netero has transcended this limit. So, once the opera music starts playing in the episode, you know something bad is about to happen. And the King has found an opening in Netero's defense. You know, the Wan Yin can only hit in certain directions with each arm, and he was basically looking for a blind spot. Plus, he's not taking that much damage, which means he can do whatever he wants. I mean, let's say, I don't know, you walk into a room and there are like bullets coming flying at you and stuff. And what if you could just walk and not be that hurt by the bullets? You would keep walking, right? So that's kind of what it is, I guess. And he's trying to get Netero to pull out all his cards. You know, he's trying to push Netero into a spot where he has to use a new technique. And I love how the king's mindset has changed by playing all those games. You know, he's very smart, as I said before. And this episode has a lot of cool animation tricks. Like, at one point they're fighting and we get still shots of them, and then fast-paced fighting, and I really enjoyed that. But then the king starts to take damage from all those hits, like, all over his body. And, I guess you could say Gone Part 2, because then Netero gets his leg cut off by the king. And that's kind of a reference to my time on the track team. Like, this guy got injured last year, and someone, let me see, and someone else got injured this year, so they used the first guy's name and said Part 2. It was pretty funny, because it was kind of funny, because they had to call an ambulance both times. I guess it's funny afterwards, but they were laughing during. And I thought Netero was screwed at this point, you know, after he lost his leg and everything. He's just on one leg, just hopping around. And the king thought he won. You know, I thought he won too. And he told Netero to stop the bleeding, and he was ready to know his name. And Netero stopped the bleeding, kind of. It was gross. You know, his leg nub just kind of closed up a little bit. And I thought he was going to, like, regrow his leg or something. I don't even know how would he be able to stop his bleeding? Does he have, like, a medical kit in his backpack or something? He doesn't even have a backpack. Where's the medical kit at? I don't understand. Unless he has, like, an inability to heal or something, which I'm guessing he doesn't. I don't know how Mererum expected him to stop the bleeding. And then Mererum takes out Netero's arm. I definitely thought Netero was dead at this point. You know, Netero says, he says wait, what? I don't know what I don't know what I wrote right here. Talked. What? He says something about, he says, like, king, you believe I cannot pray with one arm. It was word before, king, I don't know. I typed any, which is stupid. And then he activates his zero hand, which he was talking about earlier in the episode, and it traps Mererum, you know, like he was doing before, but this time it uses hyper beam on him. I mean, it's like some kind of space hyper beam, and it wasn't very effective. I don't know if this technique has something to do with why Netero looks young for his age or something, but after he uses it, he turns into a frail old man, and it's probably his actual state, like Tsunade from Naruto. And people are saying that Naruto was taking a lot of things from Hunter x Hunter. It's possible. But at this point, I was just expecting Netero to, like, slowly utter Mererum's name before dying. And he actually rips up the king's body a bit with the zero hand, but I really didn't expect him to kill him. And at this point in the episode, this is where I found something interesting. You know, he says he's going to allow humans to survive in a special zone. That's what Mererum says. And I was thinking, like, could this be a nin ability like Nove's? Because I haven't read the manga, and I have the comments off because people try to spoil crap. I left a comment on, like, Code Provider's video, and then someone replied to it, and I accidentally read it. Like, I'm not even going to make comments on Hunter x Hunter review videos anymore because people like to spoil the manga for some reason, and I might start doing that to other people. I probably won't, but, I mean, it's a good thread. So yeah, where was I at? I was talking about, yeah, he said he's going to put humans to a special zone. I was thinking this could be an nin ability like Nove. And you remember during the fight, we didn't see the king really use any nin abilities. And if he does have a nin ability, it has to be a defensive one based on the end of the episode. And Netero's just, like, talking to the king. He's kind of scaring him. He keeps showing up as a skull. Like, they show Netero's face, and it's really scary and weird. And then they show a skull, and I thought his final ability would be the Grim Reaper or something, you know. Maybe he could continue living by taking the lives of others or, like, taking their souls or something. But then he tells the king his name, because I guess he knows he's going to go out at this point. And he basically says to not underestimate humans because they have infinite potential. I mean, it makes sense. So his nin appears black, and Mererum's scared now. Netero has a bomb inside of him. Like, he was going to take this king out one way or another. And the bomb will activate once his heartbeat stops. So then he just takes it, I think it was his thumb, or he did like 2 fingers, and he stabs himself in the heart. And then Mererum, you can see Mererum like about to run, about to get out of there. And Netero says, if there's a hell, I'll see you there. And this line was awesome. I really like this line. And then a huge explosion goes off and blows up the tomb area. And the explosion's like in the shape of a flower. You know, like when an atomic bomb goes off, it's in the shape of a mushroom. Well, this one's in the shape of a flower. And that's kind of how the episode ends. And I had 2 things to discuss. The king and the preview. I'll talk about the preview first. In the preview, it looks like Poof is gonna die. We see this image of like his face looking distorted, so I don't know what's up with that. And we have Shia LaPouf and Montayupi rushing to the king, and it looks like Komugi will be healed completely because she kind of outsmarted Gon, which I mean Neferpitu outsmarted Gon, which I really liked. And she'll probably make Gon stop or something, or, you know, kind of calm his anger down. And if the king is dead, does that mean that the ants are the main villains now, like the Royal Guard, which I doubt? And I'm telling you now, I don't think the king is dead. You know, they spent episodes developing this guy. He was playing games with Komugi. They spent a lot of episodes developing his character. He's the primary villain of this arc, and as far as we know, he's primary villain. We haven't seen any nin abilities in the fight. You know, we saw his aura, but we didn't see an actual ability. And in the fight, he mentions a zone for humans, so that leads me to believe that he has an ability similar to Nove, or it could be like some huge a huge shield. And people are gonna just like dislike, oh, this guy can't talk. A huge shield or a sack, like a baby. You know, like what are those called? I don't know. You know what babies are in? Like, they're in the fetal position in like a parent's stomach. I think it's a great idea. What I came up with, you know, a huge shield or like a special zone or something. He has to have something to help him survive. I don't know. Maybe he can teleport. What do you think? Is Mererum alive? And the connection between him and the Royal Guard appears to be cut in the episode. Or maybe they made it and then they saw the explosion, but it looked like Neferpitu was worried too. So maybe his ability might send him into a different space or world. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. There was also a thing in the episode where they mentioned like Killua being scared because he saw Netero's nin or something, or he felt it. And was that when him and Gon like split ways? I think it was. Anyways, guys, peace.